Out of the father hell-bent on keeping his daughter's killer behind bars. Daryl Suckling raped and murdered Jodie Larkham in 1987, a crime that left the nation numb with disbelief. Now, Suckling wants parole.
No father should have to meet the man digging up his daughter's remains. And yet that's where Ken Larkham finds himself today.
It is very much appreciated, Jason.
It's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good. Like I said, I was in Year 7 when it happened and I remember it, and I've got a bee in my bonnet now, so...
Excavator Jason Haywood was part of the team helping homicide detectives search a new area in Moorkwong, vacant land on the side of a road near the New South Wales-Victorian border. Ken didn't miss a day, keeping watch of their efforts after learning his daughter's depraved killer, Daryl Suckling, had recently been here himself, showing police where he supposedly left Jodie Larkham's body.
And they brought him out here, and this is a place that he nominated that he buried her head in her hands.
Her head in her hands?
Yeah, the rest of it, we don't know where that is.
I mean, how hard was that search for you, being here thinking that was a possibility?
Oh, makes your guts rumble a bit.
Suckling is living out his days in a maximum security prison cell. But A Current Affair understands he's trying to get parole in exchange for helping find his victim's remains.
He contacted the police through a lawyer trying to do a deal to get into an aged facility.
And what did the officers tell you about how Suckling was when they flew him out here?
Very frail. He's 85, got emphysema. Many a day you wake up and there's a bloody big black hole in front of you and you don't know whether to step in or jump over it, or so you take a step back and reevaluate what's going on. And
is that how you think about this, as a big black hole?
yeah, it's just a big void in your life, isn't it?
Ken remembers his last moments with his daughter.
Just normal Jodie, cuddling and love you, and like she always was. Yeah. Always happy-go-lucky, big smile on the dial, and that was Jode.
Insignificant at the time, now memories to be treasured.
She was a gorgeous kid, and she used to do trips with me in the truck, and yeah, always happy, always jovial.
The 21-year-old raped and killed at the hands of Suckling, a sick predator who abducted her from Melbourne in this ute, photos found of her drugged in the front seat.
How does a father deal with losing his own daughter in such horrific circumstances?
But no, when Dot was there, we mulled through it together. The two of us, we managed to get through it and made us stronger at the time.
But in the end, it was too much. Suckling's horrendous crime claimed another life, Jodie's mother.
Yeah, it made the hole a bit bigger.
Dot committed suicide after learning he'd lodged an appeal against his murder conviction.
Because she got pretty tormented in the finish. So, no, I thought, no, now she's in peace and she's with her daughter, so...
Ken takes us on a drive he knows all too well, from his hometown of Mildura over the border and into New South Wales, where he's made a memorial for his wife and daughter.
Oh, I just come out and talk to them, let them know what's going on, and I haven't had any answers back yet, so I want the lotto numbers, but they won't give them to me.
But for the odd truck that passes by, the roadside spot is surprisingly quiet. And it has some significance. Suckling was seen there at the time of Jodie's disappearance in 1987 with damaged tyres.
This was the last spot where she was that we know of.
Ken has kept every news clipping, every memory of his little girl.
Thanks, things will be better and you'll be proud of me. With all my love, Jodie.
One of the last things she gave us was a book that the words she wrote on the front that were just the greatest parents that anybody could ever want, and things like that. She was that sort of a girl.
What Daryl Suckling did to Ken's daughter is too gruesome to detail.
Some nights you dream, or not really dream, but you're thinking about how Jodie suffered and what she went through.
And without her body, for detectives, her murder was as disturbing as it was difficult to prove. He was charged twice for killing Jodie, first in 1988, but prosecutors were forced to drop the case because they weren't confident they had enough evidence. 6 years later, he got caught bragging about the brutal killing whilst behind bars for a separate crime. In 1996, he was convicted of her murder and jailed for life.
What do you think of this ploy of Suckling's?
It's just him. He's a weasel.
Would you have preferred they just didn't find Jodi's remains at all?
Well, stop the search right now, off, because he's not getting out of jail.
So you would rather they not find Jodi's
Oh,
remains? And...
Most definitely. The whole family, everybody I know.
Detectives took Suckling from his cell, flying him out of Long Bay Jail and back in one day. Sources tell us after nominating this location where they may find Jodi's remains, he then asked if they could go to other spots in the region as well. Police refused. One officer involved in the escort, who's been on the job for decades, recalled the uncomfortable feeling he had in Suckling's presence, describing him as pure evil.
He said he'd handled a lot of prisoners over the years of being in the force, and he'd never met such an evil man with dead eyes. It could be anywhere on this road.
How do you grapple with her final moments at the hands of that guy?
Close an eye, I suppose, because if you remembered everything that happened to her, you'd be living in a nightmare.
Police have confirmed they did take Daryl Suckling back to that region earlier this week. They say there are no plans for a second search. And if you or someone you know needs help, contact Lifeline, the number on your screen now.